Yes, everyone, good morning. Happy Monday morning, 18th of August. Time is ticking in the transfer window, but we have got a lot to talk about this morning. We're going to get into the transfer news. We're going to get into why the transfer news is going a certain way because of yesterday's performance. We're going to get into detail on certain things that Ruben Amorim said in the press conference yesterday, which may take us into transfer talk as well. Snapping back at two big journalists yesterday. You can see Ruben Amorim is definitely finding his feet and figuring out who he wants to really talk to in them press conferences now. Going to get into that this morning. I want your thoughts on the game last night. Obviously, we didn't do a live one last night. Obviously, I was out, birthday, game, got back a bit late. Thought, let's just let the dust settle, see what everybody says, and then we'll come back in the morning and we'll get everyone's opinions all in one show when everyone has really looked back, probably watched the highlights back, looked at some things. There's a few things that I picked out in the game after watching it back from being there live in the stadium that probably think differently on. I'm going to get into that as well. We are talking goalkeeper, we are talking midfielder though, predominantly this morning, because I'm not wanting to bring up the negatives from yesterday. Obviously, it's a defeat, but in every area of the pitch, I thought Manchester United outperformed Arsenal. I'm just going to get that off from the start of the show here. But two issues were brought up yesterday. Obviously, I didn't have the chance to watch back certain replays of the Bayern corner situation. We're going to talk about that, but obviously, the midfield area again, and what David Ornstein said before the game yesterday. We're going to talk about all of that. There's so much to jam pack into the show this morning, everyone. But let's get your comments in, get your conversations going in there, please, everyone. If you're live, catch up later. If you are doing, get your comments in the comment section below, and let's get cracking with everything going on. So, interestingly enough, after the game yesterday, the press conference went down one road. Lots of the pundits, I've seen some of you in the comment section already going in on what pundits have been saying, mainstream media has been saying regarding United's performance. Look, I've watched it back. Obviously, I was at the game yesterday. I took in the atmosphere, I took in the whole vibe and the feeling around Manchester United and the fan base and everything. And nobody's going to say anything different to me that's going to make me feel like there was less positives than negatives yesterday. That was a very good performance from Manchester United. One of the best that I have seen under Ruben Amorim against a side like Arsenal. And to do what we did, 60+% possession, RXG absolutely dwarfed Arsenal's. We won the midfield battle. We basically won the game on points, but for the knockout punch, unfortunately, boxing rules don't go into football rules, and you have to defend corners. We lose, and that will be the ultimate. Listening to the radio on the way back home last night, the pundits and the former players and managers talking about Ruben Amorim's record. That's all they're going to drive down your throats. But of every single Manchester United fan who was at that game, who watched it on TV, from wherever he was watching it in the world, knew that that was completely different to what we witnessed last season. And there are positives going forward into the coming game. So nothing to really feel bad about apart from the result itself. And points make prizes, I know, and we do need to start climbing again. Let's see what happens in the next games. But Ruben Amorim talking about this, the overall, you could sense this in Ruben Amorim. You could sense this in the way he was talking in that press conference, because Ruben Amorim there, he came out with that line again. If the players play for me and they give absolutely everything, then I'll defend them to the end. I remember him actually doing that with a TalkSport interview after the game, and then again reiterated it in the press conference. And I think the lines that were the press conference and the media were trying to bring out was their headlines. Look, they'd already done their match reports. They'd already written everything out, the media, and all they wanted was some snappy little bits from the press conference to make some headlines with. And that's exactly what happened. Ruben Amorim, I think, was angry yesterday because he thought that United played well, like most of us. The media need more. And I think Ruben, while United are playing well, he's going to have to get used to the media going at him in a completely different way. Because all it was, do you need a new goalkeeper? What's happening with Rasmus Højlund? Why is this player not starting? Why has he been dropped? And Ruben was bombarded with this, and you've seen it. You could actually see it in him, the way he reacted, in the way that he responded. He was very, very irate, I thought, yesterday in that press conference. You know what I thought? All right, he's getting it. He knows exactly what he's in for this season with this media. And look, it's transfer season. They're going to push it. It's their jobs. They need to get the thoughts of the manager. He's not going to tell them anything. At one point, he was actually shaking his head in disgust at Jamie Jackson from The Guardian when asked the question about the goalkeeping situation at Manchester United. Now, that brings us into the obvious. I thought it was a foul watching it. It looked like, for me, and from where I was sat right in front of it, you could see Saliba was literally, he was doing the ice hockey shirt over the shoulder movement on Mason Mount while trying to grapple him. He can get away with that because it's then taking momentum into the goalkeeper. Effectively, what he's trying to do is use a United player to get away with going in and blocking out Altay Bayindir. Is Roy Keane right in saying that Bayindir should be tougher? Has this happened before for him? Yeah, it's happened twice now. And we all know that neither of Manchester United's goalkeepers are adequate for what we're going to need to do this season. Gary Neville talking about go out and buy Donnarumma, go out and buy Emi Martinez. Like, Gary Neville, of all people, knows the financial situation at Manchester United and the money that's been wasted over the years, and we can't do everything in one window. You cannot just go out and buy them types of goalkeeper. If they're not available to Manchester United in terms of financially, then we cannot buy that keeper. What do Manchester United do? The question was even asked to Ruben Amorim about playing Tom Heaton, experienced in these sorts of games. I cannot believe someone actually said what I was actually saying in the press conference. It's like they were listening to the shows, wasn't it, Mr. Luckhurst? Okay, he probably wasn't, but why would you ask that question when it's never been brought up before? More experienced in the Premier League. When was the last time that Tom Heaton actually played in the Premier League? Like, I want him in, but you have to ease him in, if anything. Look, at the end of the day, I know that Heaton's not going to play this season, but I still think he's better, like I've said before, than both the keepers we've got. And that's down to Man United's recruitment. You've got two younger goalkeepers that are on loads of money that the club, what I feel, or Ruben feel, is being forced into playing. So then you bring in the questions about dropping Andre. Why have you dropped Andre Onana? I've not dropped Andre Onana. Why would I have dropped Andre Onana? I've just left him out because he hasn't played all pre-season and it's fitness precautions. Again, digging for that reaction from Ruben Amorim in the press conference with the goalkeeping area. And Bayindir, again, going back to what he said, Heaton over Bayindir, why would you not play him? Well, again, like I just said, I can't even remember the last game that Tom Heaton played in the Premier League. So, in terms of the last 5 years, I think Bayindir's got more experience than Tom Heaton has in the Premier League. So, completely stupid question. And it was answered by Ruben Amorim in saying, well, what happened after the time that he was bullied against Tottenham? Because he brought that up. Tottenham away, the corner went straight in, didn't it? Remember the game in the Carabao Cup, and Ruben came back straight away at him, with no VAR. Straight away saying no VAR. Why was that not brought back up? Because you could have clearly seen it was a foul. But then the game after, he had the great game against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and that was his response to it. So look, whichever way you look at the foul, if it was a foul or not, United are weak on corners. I said it. I was in a B thought when United played Fiorentina. What happened? United conceded from a corner. Again, Arsenal today, the last two goals United have conceded have both been from corners. We are susceptible to corners. It is our Achilles heel, our kryptonite, our major weakness in our defensive line. Because defensively yesterday, Manchester United were outstanding, I thought, with in dealing with the front line of Arsenal's. I mean, Martinelli, Saka, honestly, didn't even hear their names. They were absolutely played off the park by United's backline. And that's a lesson in experienced defending from particular Luke Shaw and Matthias de Ligt, and with Lenny Yoro just 19 learning off them two, the future's bright there, because Lenny Yoro, I thought, again, he's still got to fill out. He's still being, I think, shoved off the ball a little bit sometimes, but his positioning is so good that he also manages to get away with it. Can you imagine when he fully fills out and totally gets used to playing at this level consistently week in, week out? We have got an absolutely awesome defender there in Lenny Yoro. And people keep on forgetting that Matthias de Ligt is only 26 years old. He's in his prime. Well, like he says, defenders don't really hit their prime until they get to 28, 29. So he's saying he's still 2 or 3 years off his absolute prime. And he absolutely bullied Victor Gyökeres yesterday. So I can see why Ruben Amorim is really knocked off with the questions that are piling in about the negatives. Because, yes, you lost the game, but everybody could see and nobody could hide. I've even seen Arsenal fans talking about this now and saying that they thought yesterday that Arsenal just dug in and got a result. That was it. There was nothing there. Even Arteta. And you know what Arteta's like. He can be the most one-sided, deluded post-match interview manager there is in the Premier League with some of the stuff that comes out of that man's mouth. But even he said yesterday that to come away opening day and win away from home, that's the important thing. And it is. And Arsenal will get better this season. But yesterday, if you're looking after one game, United were the better side. And that's why Ruben Amorim was a bit snappy. Going in, and I will get your comments in a minute, everybody, as well. I just want to get this out while we're talking on the press conference side. Rasmus Højlund. This was the big one, I feel. Rasmus Højlund being left out of Manchester United's squad. We have two players with the same characteristics. Ruben, right now, I'm just going to round it up like this, actually. You could tell by the way he was answering the questions on Rasmus Højlund in particular. He does not want him at the football club and doesn't want to be answering questions about him. I think yesterday he just wanted to talk about the game, but didn't expect the onslaught from the transfer side of things. The media deliberately picking out every tiny little negative from Manchester United's game yesterday, which then led into, obviously, the transfer talk. The mistake from the goalkeeper. Are you buying a goalkeeper? Not starting Sesko. What's happening with Rasmus? Are you buying a striker? What's happening? Is Rasmus Højlund leaving? They just used it to get a little bit more bite out of Ruben Amorim, and he took the bait because he was angry that he thought his team deserved more from the game. And that's how I read the whole situation yesterday. And you know what? Well done, Ruben, for showing a little bit of snappiness in your reactions to that. You know what? It deserved it yesterday because, like I said before, the media just went in with one sole purpose to that press conference. The interesting stuff from it is obviously, like we said, doesn't look like Manchester United are in any shape to go and get a goalkeeper, and it doesn't look like we're in to get any sort of midfielder. All we're talking about here, and David Ornstein was talking exactly the same before the game to NBC when he was talking about Manchester United. Obviously, they brought up the Baleba story. Ornstein was then talking about what might happen after it. They're going to look at other targets. If he finds it's going to be incredibly difficult and cannot see an Adam Wharton or a Morten Hjulman transfer coming off this transfer window. That was from David Ornstein before the game yesterday. So he doesn't see Adam Wharton happening. It's just as difficult a deal as what Baleba was. United are interested in him. TalkSport were talking before the game about Manchester United possibly testing the resolve of Crystal Palace and going in for Adam Wharton. Honestly, again, I've said this before, I would love Adam Wharton, I would love Carlos Baleba. I think we just come into him at the wrong time, and with less than 2 weeks left of this transfer window, I don't see United getting a big signing like that. If they want a midfielder, they're going to have to think outside of the box to try and get this one over the line. Ruben Amorim also saying in the press conference yesterday, trying to get a goalkeeper done now is not going to be easy. Romano on the back of that saying that Manchester United, if they're going to go for a goalkeeper now, it's probably going to be Senne Lammens from Royal Antwerp. United are actively in talks and could go. If they decide to go for a goalkeeper, they are going to go for Senne Lammens. On the performance of Altay Bayındır yesterday, I don't think it was that bad apart from the goal. And yeah, you could say he was bullied, he was fouled. Saliba had his arm over his arm, stopping him going for it, but this has happened before. Bayındır should adapt. There's a 50-50 in there for me. I agree with what Roy Keane's saying, but also it was a foul. I think Jaap Stam said, look, they're missing the point. Jaap Stam said there was a foul, a clear foul on Mason Mount that the referee is not picking up there. And if the referee doesn't see it, then the VAR are not going to get involved. We've all seen what Howard Webb, the head of the PGMOL, has actually said before the season. They're not going to get involved. It's down to the ref. So basically, that just gives Arsenal free rein to do whatever they want in corners. And that's what they did. And Saliba used Mason Mount just to shield what he was really doing. Grapple with Mounts, he's a smaller player, and he could probably get the best out of him, and then just do what he had to do to put off Altay Bayındır. He flapped at the ball, he didn't get a clean connection, he took it away from Matthias de Ligt, and then comes Calafiori at the back post and puts it in the back of the net, and that is what won the game and why we're talking about it. Manchester United's performance deserved more from that, and I don't think we would have been highlighting the goalkeeping issue as much if United have got the win yesterday, because Bayındır's passing from the back, I thought it was comfortable. I thought everything about his game was okay apart from that moment, but they're the moments that you're going to get. I said this. What did we say? What did we say at the start of the season? Manchester United will play 20 times better this season, but unless you buy a goalkeeper, it's going to keep on getting undone every single time. One mistake, defeat. Another one on Ruben's record for the media to go to town on instead of looking at the real thing, the real picture of what was yesterday, which was a really good performance from Manchester United. So again, Get a goalkeeper, at least this season. The midfield we'll come on to in a minute, but there's loads of comments coming into the chat. So let's get into these first of all, and then we'll get on to the next bit, and we'll get through the other news as well. Quite a few super chats just to run through quickly. Andreas, happy belated birthday, Adam. Thank you, mate. I had a fantastic day yesterday. Despite the result, brilliant day. And a brilliant atmosphere at Old Trafford yesterday. Absolutely loved it. Made a title contender look bang average, says Ant. Yes, we did. And Andreas back in again with another one. Man United was the better side. We could have won if we were lucky. We need a world-class goalkeeper. Donna or Martinez was a foul on the goalkeeper. Arsenal equals Stoke. Lucky boys. Andreas also says, glad we got Sesko. Hope Arsenal ends 7th. And then Block Sean comes in. Can I just take time to thank Glinios for putting a pint of Madri up from £3.50 to £5.75 a bottle of Carling £3 or £5.50. Even wine gums went up. They are always going to go up, I'm afraid, mate. Yeah, beer, very expensive. And they've erected a new beer garden outside of the Stretford end now as well. Did anyone who was at the game have a chance to go in and see what that was like yesterday? That has been put up now. That was packed out yesterday. Manchester United must have raked it in yesterday, honestly. Should get Donnarumma and keep the midfield. Keep the midfield. Right, this is the thing. We've got a poll running right now. Thanks for that, Scott, mate. This is what I thought was going to happen today, and Scott's just brought us right into it there. This now is the big question. What do Manchester United do in this last 2 weeks of the window? If there is a position to prioritise and really go for, and what we need the most, what would it be? Would it be the goalkeeper or would it be the midfielder? That's the poll running right now. There's 1,700 votes already on that, and it's only been going 20 minutes. So get your vote on that. We'll leave that running throughout the show, and because that's the killer question right now, isn't it? You've seen flaws in Man United's midfield yesterday, and you've seen flaws in the goalkeeping side. Minimal, don't get me wrong. Like the game, we dominated. You've seen the stats. Everybody watched the game. Everybody's seen the chances. Raya was the goalkeeper that was the busiest. Arsenal's defence was the one that was flapping. And Mikel Arteta was the manager that was really worried in that game. I tweeted that out, actually. And then I tweeted it out while the game was going on. And an Arsenal fan replied to it later on after the game had finished. Obviously, after the game had finished. Coming back at me. Typical. Anyway, 69% of you at the moment are thinking goalkeeper is the position that Manchester United should look for now in this last couple of weeks of the window. Now, Casemiro yesterday, I will get into the comment section on this as well in a moment, everybody, bear with me. Casemiro yesterday I thought was good. I thought Ruben Amorim's shape was absolutely spot on in handling Arsenal. We did have holes in the midfield, but it was high up the pitch. So Arsenal were able to bring the ball away from Manchester United's attacks from counters because Manchester United were secure further back down the field. I don't know if anybody else picked this up yesterday. So there were some marauding runs forward from the likes of Rice and Odegaard yesterday. Zubimendi picking the ball up a few times, but it was very deep and it wasn't really effective. And Manchester United's shape was there throughout, and they didn't break one side, I didn't think. And it goes to show, look, the fact that Arsenal's pretty much best attempt was flapping at a corner for multi-Bayende. That shows you exactly how Manchester United performed yesterday. I thought we were great. I thought Casemiro was excellent in midfield. Bruno Fernandes was our worst player from the start for me. I said it and was open. I thought he underperformed. And then when Manuel Ugarte came on, I think we lost all momentum. That was my big problem yesterday. I said it in my vlog after the game as well. I thought he did two things in the game which just killed so much momentum. Absolutely killed momentum. There was one where he played a blind pass backwards, which Harry Maguire gave a foul away for, giving Arsenal a chance. But that zapped the energy out of a really positive spell for Manchester United. I don't want to have a go at Manuel Ugarte here, but when we're picking out minor details of a really good performance that matter, this is where it's different. This is where Manchester United, I feel, fell away yesterday. Like the depth off the bench. If you'd have brought Mainoo on, would it have been any different? I think he would have looked after the ball better than what Manuel Ugarte did. I mean, maybe you could argue that on Ruben Amorim might have been a better option. yesterday. If we're chasing the game, Manuel Ugarte isn't going to do anything for you. That was clear with the brilliant hold-up play from Benjamin Sesko to lay it inside to Manuel Ugarte, only for him to hit row Z, because he should never be shooting from outside of the box. And I think every single Manchester United fan in Old Trafford was shouting, don't shoot, bang. But then he also gave a needless foul away just to take the sting out of the game. United was so disciplined yesterday. We didn't give much away. We didn't give petty fouls away. We were aggressive in the tackle when we needed to be. And I thought we controlled the whole momentum of the game from start to finish. There were just tiny little things in between. And Arsenal are a team that are mature enough now and well down the line with Arteta and his tactics, because let's be honest, they are quite boring to watch right now, Arsenal. They're just a dig-out results kind of side. Get an early goal from a set piece or something like that, then demoralise the opposition, and then the better players will find space and take advantage, and the game will be finished off with a decent win for Arsenal. That's how they play. But if they don't get that, then they struggle. And they will struggle this season, because Manchester United showed exactly how to play Arsenal yesterday. And there will be managers and coaches taking notes of what Ruben Amorim did to Arsenal in dominating that game. With a team that has really only just played its first competitive game together, like Luke Shaw, Yoro and De Ligt with Bayendare, and then you've got Dorgu and Dalot either side. This is a team that's never played competitively together, and you can say this comfortably. The midfield, yes, you could say we're used to that, but the front three, again, even with Mount in there at the start, he's never played with Cunha and Mbeumo, and you bring in Sesko on. This is a completely foreign team for Manchester United in terms of playing competitively together. And I feel yesterday, Ruben's tactics were what won the day. And credit to Ruben and his coaching yesterday, because he put players on that pitch yesterday that he knew were going to do something for him in that position. And I said in my vlog afterwards as well, Mason Mount, kudos to Mason Mount. I thought Mason Mount was excellent in his spell in the game, and I think he's going to be a weapon for Ruben this season. Professional attitude, and honestly, I looked at it, I thought, Mount, and I've tweeted it out, it's a very, very safe lineup with massive respect to Arsenal, that from Ruben, and we still had the better of the first half with that, and again in the second half. So credit to all of the front line. The only real issue I had with any performance yesterday was the slight problem with Bayendare and the mistake. Bruno Fernandes, I didn't think was great. And Manuel Ugarte, when he came on, I hate to say it because I like the guy, I do. I want him to do well, but he kind of just zaps the life out of our movement. Look, he'll probably get better, he will. And I just, again, does it not highlight the problem in midfield, though? If that's what you're bringing on, and you're not playing him from the start, there's a reason why you're not playing him from the start, and there's a reason when you bring him on that we kind of lose that sort of grip on the game a little bit. That there is the problem in midfield. Have we got enough time? Have we got enough money to rectify them two tiny little problems that we've got in this side right now? Because past that, this team is cooking, and this team has really got something. By the way, I'm going to come to the comments now, but Patrick Dorgu, oh my days, did I say that guy is one to watch this season? Patrick Dorgu is turning out to be an absolute steal of a sign. If he keeps this momentum up, I am loving the way that guy is playing at the moment. Whoa, yeah, right, comments. I could go on for hours, honestly, dissecting everything after watching it back again. Right, okay. Cal says, if we could get a corner past the first man, maybe we could use these tactics. Yeah, Kaz said the same thing yesterday, Cal. Literally, like, why can't we beat the first man on the corner? Why are our corners so crap? Like, surely someone in there can take a decent corner. Tim says, Anana can't play anymore. He'll be giving away too many corners and the amount of time he wants on the ball. Yeah, the 8-second rule was in yesterday, obviously, as well. But Bayendare released the ball very quickly. He kept things moving along yesterday quite well. And I didn't think he really didn't have a bad game apart from the glaring error that we know we're always going to have with these two goalkeepers. Sadly, that is what we're going to have to live with now unless we can bring a goalkeeper in. The problem was Ruben taking off Mount instead of Bruno. That killed our momentum. Mount probably could have done the job that Bruno was doing yesterday and probably better with the way that he was playing. Not saying that we want Mount to start every single game over Bruno Fernandes, but the point that Ant made there was, is Ruben going to have the balls to take Bruno Fernandes off when he's not playing well? Surely the same rules apply. And I know Bruno can do anything at any moment. And when you're chasing a game, you'd rather have someone like him on who can just pick out that one ball on that cross. You're a little bit desperate. The question is, if you're looking at completely controlling a game and keeping hold of the ball and holding a little bit more shape, do you need to play Bruno every single game? And I don't think you do. But this is down to Ruben. We said this. He will live and die on that Bruno Fernandes sword. And that's what he has to deal with. And yesterday, his worst player on the pitch, don't get me wrong, Bruno did some good things as well. I'm not having a go here. I'm not saying like he was a 4 out of 10 or anything like that. I think Bruno, for me, I think I rated him around about 5.5, 6 out of 10 yesterday. Everyone else was hitting 7s and 8s, though. So it shows you, if your captain is at that point and having that bad a game, again, midfield. The 2 points I'm picking out here is Bruno's performance and then Agate when he came on. The midfield is so crucial, but I just don't now feel, and obviously I'm going to bring every single story to the table that comes about now because I'm not desperate to bring a midfielder in, but I'm not confident that Manchester United can get the midfielder in that we want at this stage now. It's so frustrating because it is just that one player in midfield away, maybe even 2 in time. But for now, if Casemiro keeps playing like that, and we've not seen Kobe yet either, one player coming in right now will make one hell of a difference to that Man United side. Adam, how is it a foul for pushing a defender out of the way as a goal versus Chelsea? But you can't do the exact same to a goalkeeper. It's acceptable to a goalkeeper. Make it make sense. So Mark Ash just talking there. I did see the Eze goal yesterday. I was watching it before the game. Like VAR, like it's infringing in play. So why wouldn't you? Yeah, look, I'm of an old school nature, and I'm thinking Ben Danos just needs to toughen up a little bit. But still, it was a foul in modern football. That was a foul on Ben Day. I'm sorry, it was. Dad says, I see Arsenal fans saying it was a pen. What is VAR for now? Oh, the penalty on Matheus Cunha as well. I didn't think it was at the time, but I didn't see the replay. I've watched the replay back. Why is VAR not intervening with that? It's a tackle from behind and he doesn't play the ball. He kicks Cunha's foot from under him. Again, I don't understand what's going on. Unless the referee makes a decision, it doesn't look like VAR is even going to come in. But then, like the comment says there from Markash about the Eze goal from the free kick, what the hell is going on with that? Honestly, again, like first weekend of the Premier League season, and VAR completely called into question again for all the wrong reasons. It's stupid. It really is. And there's so many points that you could have picked out from the first weekend there that didn't add up with VAR that I feel has really shone the spotlight on it again in the wrong way. Malachi says, I like the fact that he's not giving the team news pre-match. When did giving the media and therefore Polonster heads up your team. Good. Keep them at arm's length. Sorry, it's a few little typos and mismatches in that one there, mate. But yeah, not leaking the team news out, not giving anything away. But Ruben has got a good sort of grip on Manchester United right now, I feel, and it's really good. I do think that as we're looking at this now, we are praying that something happens in this transfer window the last couple of weeks. Look, even players leaving, just to give us the potential opportunity to maybe go out and sneak someone in for a loan maybe, or maybe even a cheap midfield signing. I mean, when you look at it, like I said it the other day, Luciano Gomez from Seville, another midfielder there that could do a job for Manchester United. Technical player, aggressive player. Little things could pop up at the end of the window for Manchester United, but we do seem like we are needing to sell players. Just a quick update on the transfer side of things as well before we get into some more comments. Jadon Sancho's salary is a sticking point in the 20 million move from Manchester United to Roma. The 25-year-old is keen to see if any club step in and match his weekly wage of around 250. 2.5 months into the window, Jadon, no one's going to match your wage of 250 grand, you absolute tool. My God, this man's mindset is past professional football. Honestly, who in their right mind would want to actually pay Jadon Sancho what he's on at Manchester United? Oh, God. Foot to foot, apparently, was the call from the referee. Foot to foot was the call for Cunha's penalty. That was what they were saying. How is it foot to foot when a player comes in from behind? Is the rule not tackle from behind? Honestly, bottle jobs. Complete and utter bottle jobs. PGMOL, refereeing on foot to foot. Yeah, if you're coming together, foot to foot, yeah, no problem. But it's a tackle from behind and he doesn't get the ball. Anywhere else on the field, the ref blows his whistle and that's a foul. Taking the absolute Michael, honestly. Right, quickly update you on exactly what Ornstein said. I was alluding to it a moment ago, but before the game yesterday, this is what David Ornstein said in detail on everything that's happening with Manchester United at the moment. And what's left for Manchester United this window. Manchester United are not planning to proceed with the Carlos Baleba transfer, largely because he's not for sale. The price would be too high, even if they were to consider his sale this summer. That from Brighton. It doesn't mean United's interest goes away, and maybe in the summer of 2026 they go back in. They've been linked with the likes of Hjulmand, of Sporting Lisbon, Adam Wharton, and I'm not sure those are likely to come to any fruition. They want to get players out. They want to get players out of here. Andre Nana is an interesting situation. They would look for a new goalkeeper, but there's no sign of him going. Garnacho, good chance he goes to Chelsea. Sancho, Roma in talks, club to club, but he hasn't decided. Rasmus Højlund, his time here looks to be coming to an end. And Tyrell Malacia could also leave the club. No mention of Antony either in that piece there from David Ornstein. Again, there's so much news to come over the next few weeks, and I will have it completely covered, obviously. But like in terms of confidence level now from you, and get into the comments and let me know. Like we've seen the performance yesterday, and keep getting your comments in on the game itself yesterday. But in terms of transfers, I said I don't think Manchester United would go for Hjulmand because he's too dear. Adam Wharton, we may have left it too late. The right man, the right signing. I would take him and Baleba in Man United's midfield, and that guarantees you a Champions League winning side with what we've got right now. This is how close we are. 3 players, I feel, away from guaranteed top 4 side, and we've just run out of time. And that is so frustrating. Ran out of time, ran out of money. Because I think Sesko is going to work for United, I really do. Didn't have much to do when he came on yesterday. Misplaced a couple of headers, but his link-up play, his hold-up play, there were moments in that game where he just showed his pure strength and just kept Manchester United moving along. I'm really looking forward to him to integrate into the side eventually now as well. Cunha and Mbeumo, I am absolutely in love with. Matheus Cunha's strength, drive, and everything going forward. And Mbeumo, his positional play is outstanding. Arsenal could not pick him up yesterday. All of that to come. And you just need that midfielder in there. Oh, God. And this is why I'm so frustrated and annoyed, because we are close. And Ruben knows it. And you can tell. And this is the frustration in his voice yesterday as well, because I know that he inside feels like he isn't going to get the sign that he needs right now. How are we going to go out there and try and find a little gem that's cheap enough to come in and fit this system for what Ruben needs to do? Is there anybody there? There's surely some player there that can do it, that isn't going to cost United a lot of money, that won't be a problem for United long term, that may sit on the bench like Agate did today and Mainu did today, that is going to do a better job than what Agate did when he came on. And there's got to be something. Should get Donnarumma and keep the midfield. That's the same super chat again there, sorry. Also, Mark says with another super chat, what about the next level time wasting? Well, this is just Arsenal. Arsenal, honestly, they are a joke team, joke club. Honestly, they are. And then they showed their colours yesterday. I would be happier as a United fan walking out of that stadium yesterday than an Arsenal fan. For my season as well. So much more encouragement for Manchester United fans coming out of that, looking ahead to what's left this season, than what Arsenal have for theirs. Yeah, they might get better. They're in all the bigger competitions. Fair enough. They're in a miles better place than United. But again, I said it, like United showed how to beat Arsenal there yesterday. And I think Arsenal will struggle. I do. I'm not rating Gyökeres at all. Yes, he'll have time to get better again, and he will score goals because he's going to get chances created for him. But I see more from Benjamin Sesko in his little cameo than Victor Gyökeres all game yesterday. A great tweet that went out yesterday. I think he flicked his hair, I think it was about 28 times or something like that. And that's all he did yesterday, ENQUIRIES. Appalling. Scott, with a chat again, thank you very much, mates. On fire this morning. If we get Donnarumma, gives De Ligt confidence to play higher to support the midfield. True, we are supposed to be bringing that centre back forward into the midfield to counter the likes of Bruno moving forward. Bruno for 100 million, Cobby to midfield by goalkeeper and a mid. Andreas, yeah, maybe for the future, but not right now, unfortunately, mate. I get you. And thanks for the gifted memberships as well, my man. Love that. Mark, also again, the next level time wasting. I did do that. Merrin T, 2 months a member. Thank you very much. Hi, Adam. We need a goalkeeper. Yeah, I could have put it clearer myself. God, we do. Andre Onana cannot come back into this side. He's worse than what Bayindir is. And neither of them, like, honestly, you can look at one play one week and one play the next week, and you won't be able to decide between you or your mates or whoever you're talking about it, who is worse. Honestly, it will be worse in trying to decide who is worse, because it will baffle your head, because they're both as bad as each other. They really are. But I thought the passing out and the speed of Bayindir's play yesterday was good. Better. I'm picking up little things here. I am. But in the goalkeeper side of things, the only goalkeeper that Manchester United are going to go for is Sané Lamens. That's it. Donnarumma is going to end up at Manchester City. Honestly, I would say to City, I would take Ortega on loan. And go to City and say, can we have him on loan? I would take him. Honestly, Ortega is surplus to requirements now, because you got James Trafford there. And obviously you're going to bring in Donnarumma. James Trafford must be devastated right now. But yeah, go on loan buddy Ortega out. That's what I would do. Unfortunately, he's at our rival and they're not going to give him us. But that goalkeeper there is exactly what Ruben Amorim needs. Stefan Ortega would be miles better than both Onana and Bayindir. And he can play that sweeper keeper really well, Ortega. Oh, we just need that goalkeeper. Then the midfielder, I can't decide. I don't know. In terms of the actual poll and how it's running right now, nearly 3,000 votes. 68% of you are saying we need a goalkeeper more than a midfielder right now. Is this because of the mistake yesterday? Is this because we've not seen Mainu yet? Is it because we could see different things happen in different combinations? Maybe Garte comes in with Mainu like we did in pre-season. Casemiro's give us a little bit of hope with that performance there today, because I thought that was very good. And Casemiro only having to play one game a week. Does that give you confidence? And is that why the poll has gone 68% need the goalkeeper more than anything? Because the midfield yesterday, I didn't make too many mistakes. And I'm probably a little bit more confident if the midfield makes a mistake, because the defence is so good. But if the goalkeeper makes a mistake, then it's curtains, isn't it? And that's exactly how it played out yesterday. Leon in the chat, there was a lot of really good players last night. We outclassed Arsenal all over the pitch. We did. Give it 2 months and ENQUIRIES will be the face of L'Oreal, says James. Yeah, honestly, there's a marketing opportunity there, isn't there? Lee says, not much difference between a draw and a loss. It's more worrying that we didn't score. Yeah, I think time, fine-tuning it, like... Arsenal, don't forget, I've got one of the most tightest defences in the league, one of the best in the league, and we did create some really good half chances. I won't get carried away in saying that we were clear-cut and we absolutely pummeled Raya. A lot of the shots were from distance and were half chances, but the areas we were getting into, the effort from Patrick Dorgu, definite given incentive to get forward and attack. And again, Dorgu was absolutely outstanding for me yesterday. So good on the ball. And he looked after the ball so well compared to what we were seeing from him last season. And that pre-season for him, I said it, I likened it to the Patrice Evra situation. When he came in pre-season, mid-season, struggled at first to adapt, had the pre-season, and then never looked back. Brilliant. I think we've got a similar situation with Patrick Dorgu here for me. Vitek is not ready. It's why he's on loan at Bristol City. Look, Vitek, I've got a feeling Vitek will be in at Manchester United maybe next season. There's a reason why United, I said this yesterday, Vitek has been sent out on loan straight away as soon as he's come back. But his progression and a pathway, you can actually see is developing. So he goes away to, was it Austria he went to? I think it was the Austrian league, wasn't it? Yeah, so he goes away to Austria, has a good season there, gets his experience, first team football, comes back to Manchester United. You're thinking, is he good enough to bring in? A decision was made very, very quickly with Vitek in that he gets his new contract and then he's loaned back out again. But this was the crucial bit, loaned out in England to Bristol City in the Championship, which is one of the best leagues in the world. It's right up there, I feel, better than some of the Premier League divisions in other European countries. So that, I think, is a brilliant loan move for him. Man of the match at weekend. Again, he's loving life already. He's already making waves at Bristol, but one season experience in the Championship will give that man masses of confidence going forward. I think he could be a Manchester United goalkeeper. He is very, very highly thought of at Manchester United, Radat Vitek. And that's why he's got a new contract before, because not many people picked up on the new deal that he got before he went to Bristol City. I think next season he has got a chance. It just depends what United do with the goalkeeper this season. I think you could see him as Man United's number 2 next season. That might happen, and he may challenge within that season. But I think it's right that he's gone back out on loan. And I think Manchester United have shown their cards there, really, by saying he's in and he's straight back out. They know where he is. They're organising these loan deals so much better now, I think, Manchester United. And it's good to see us actually thinking outside the box. Out into first-team football in Europe, great. What does he need next? He needs some robust English football experience, I feel. Because look at Bayendale, look at Onana coming straight in. Flapping, weak, crap. Vitek thrown straight in at the deep end. It might have scuppered his chances. But he's gone to the Championship, get a bit of rough and tumble. It's only going to be, if not more physical than what the Premier League is, and that will do him the power of good. 50 plus games or whatever he's going to play in the Championship. Massive experience. Look what James Trafford did. James Trafford did the same thing for Manchester City. Manchester United are actually using that blueprint and giving players experience. The Championship is brilliant for giving these sorts of players the experience that they need, and I think that's the right decision to make. He could come back. I'm predicting next season, Vitek is in as United's number 2 goalkeeper. I think that's where we're going. I think Onana and Bayendale will be gone by next summer anyway, because Onana's got 1 year left on his deal. And quite clearly, we're seeing, look, Ruben's not rushing him back like Erik ten Hag did. He's not fit. He doesn't play. Bayendale plays. Right call to make. You don't want somebody playing their first game since last season. Let's not forget, he took Onana out of the Aston Villa game as well. He dropped him for that game. So we're seeing more of Ruben Amorim being a bit more ruthless with Andre Onana now as well. We've seen him get even more ruthless with Rasmus Højlund. And it just looks done right now, Rasmus Højlund. Again, the update is the same as it was before. Rasmus Højlund would prefer a move to AC Milan as long as it was a permanent one. I think that's where we're at with the Rasmus Højlund situation. I actually feel like that's the right move for him because he wants fully away from Manchester United. I've seen the pictures of him walking in, not in the squad, but still at Old Trafford. Complete contrast in attitude to the bomb squad type of players. Honestly, I cannot fault Rasmus Højlund's professionalism one bit. Outstanding pro, just not good enough. And the fact that a 22-year-old was given the task by this football club of leading that line for Manchester United for the last 2 years has really set his career back. And now he's making a decision, I feel, which is sensible, and he's being professional about everything that he's doing. Look, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but why would you want to leave your boyhood club? He doesn't. But at least he's accepting the calls that are being made. And then the questions were pushed on Ruben Amorim in the press conference, like we said, as to what's happening with Rasmus Højlund. Look, if you're not in the squad, you're definitely out of the team in terms of being transferred out. Ruben didn't need to answer a question. I think what he did yesterday, again, showed that Rasmus Højlund is out of Manchester United. He's done. It's finished. But there was loads of room on that bench to fit him on. You could have easily put him on the bench, but he didn't. So, one game on the bench in a pre-season friendly, the last one before the start of the season, he doesn't get on. The next game, when everybody's in, he's not even in the squad. And Ruben's saying we have two players there in Rasmus and Benjamin Sesko who have the same characteristics, same style, but only one of them makes the bench when none of them are starting. That speaks volumes, I feel, in where Ruben feel. And like the media just wanted the headline. They wanted to just drag something out of Ruben Amorim and just build something. 600 likes in the bag, everybody. Thank you so much for the likes. Keep them coming in. I'm going to get into some more of your comments now. Also, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We hit that 97k mark yesterday, so thanks again, everybody. Support is awesome. Let's get some more in. Andrew says, my position on that game is simple. If that's where we start and the team hasn't yet developed into a unit, what will it be like when they are all playing as a solid unit? Encouragement, I think, is the right word there, mate. Definitely. Glenn says, agree. Oh, someone's talking to someone. Agree, Lee. Has all the attributes, but nothing much going forward. Is this on? I'm trying to think who that conversation was about there. What did everyone think of Dalot yesterday, by the way? Oh, Ahmad changed the game. Like, when Ahmad came on, like attacking-wise, United, they scared the living crap out of Arsenal's backline. That Ahmad coming on just gave United a new dimension. I think Ruben was being very, very cautious because let's not forget, Dalot has played exceptionally well against Arsenal before. He's got a good record against Arsenal, and I think that was in Ruben's mindset. And he did allude to this in his press conference. It was like horses for courses, wasn't it? It was like adapting to what Arsenal were. They're in a better position than United. They're in a better place. And we have to respect the opposition who are ahead of us. We're not kidding ourselves. We finished 15th last season, and you can't just go all out and just go toe-to-toe. You have to be very clever. But one thing you've got right now is Ruben knows every team in this league now, and he knows how to set up. He's not fresh. He's not wet behind the ears, is he? He's not a fresh manager into the Premier League anymore. He's had enough experience. He's played against every single team apart from the promoted sides, of course. But he now knows what he's up against. And you can see that he adapted his team and his setup system and everything yesterday, because there were times when it went 4-4-2 and you had Cunha and Mbeumo in the front two in that first half in particular. And Arsenal were being dragged all over the place, particularly when Mbeumo was being left so much space on the right hand side. He just cleverly just moved. It's that football IQ that Mbeumo has got that is absolutely crucial to Manchester United going forward, and that is why we spent the money on Bryan Mbeumo. That plus the drive, strength and sheer determination of Matheus Cunha. You add Sesko into the middle of that, then you are really cooking Manchester United. Mr. Dacia Sandero says, Rasmus was given a completely unrealistic task of being our main number 9. He would improve massively. Now that we have Sesko, it's stupid decision to leave him out, I'm afraid. Different strikers. Let's just bring in a few more comments there. Just lost where I was there. Cal says... he's replying to someone else there. Sorry, I'll leave that one out there. Block with his super chat says, I thought that Ahmad improved our right side when he came on, but putting Euro on the left to accommodate Maguire ruined the right. New seats are any good? Yes, very good, mate. Exceptional, in fact. Had a fantastic day yesterday, Sean, mate. Should sacrifice next year's budget for Baleba. Yeah, and get in the Champions League. I think we said that already. I think the fact that we just cannot get him is the reason why we're not getting him. Super chat in from Andreas again. Ten Hag players took us back. He must buy some of them. I am not very impressed with Dalot. He almost always passes backwards and sideways and can't cross. Yeah, Dalot didn't make the most. In the final third, Dalot has got a lot of improvement to do. But then again, how long has Dalot been playing? Like, is he going to get any better than what he is? I'm starting Ahmad. I understand Dalot's role. Like, I'm not saying that what Ruben did was wrong. It proved right in a way because United were so dominant. But Ahmad gives you so much more. Like, so much more than what Dalot does on that right-hand side. And Ahmad will start the next game against Fulham. Guaranteed. Lack of clinical finishing again is the main undoing of United once again. Well, I don't think so. I think we created the better chances. We came closer. I just think he came up against a very, very good Arsenal side, like I said before, who don't concede many goals. They are as settled as you get when it comes to a back four. And sometimes you have to hold your hand up to the opposition. They've got a very, very good goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. And, like I said, a settled backline with very good defenders in it. And United created more chances. So, yeah, the fact that we were working, Raya, I think that'll come. The goals will come for Manchester United this season, I feel. I think we're in a miles better position. Ellen says there was only 2 shocking players last night, Baindir and Agate. 2 weeks left of the window. Do something. The rest of the team deserves it. It'll be interesting to see what actually does happen. Now, obviously, the game took preference yesterday and all of the aftermath and everything, and like we're talking about now, but obviously throughout this week with no games, there is going to be masses and masses of transfer news into this week in particular, and then obviously we've got 2 weeks left, but hold on to your hats is all I'm saying. I will be there with everything that comes out, all of the news as it breaks. But for now, this morning, everybody, brilliant show. Really enjoyed getting through that there. Some fantastic comments. And one thing I will say in picking up from what this show has brought out is a ton of positivity from everyone in the live chats. Let's see if that continues in the comment section, because everyone gets brave when the live is finished. So let's see. Get your comments in and have a look through them throughout my day. Plenty going on today as well. I'll keep you posted on everything, of course. So stay tuned. I'll have you updated on anything that breaks and anything else that comes from the game, as always. So make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Make sure you've hit that bell notification button as well, everybody, so you're fully updated on any news. Because if I'm live, there's something that's happened and you want to be in the know. So I've got you covered. Give the video a like on the way out. Quickly, Andreas, another super chat there. Thank you, mate. Next week, we'll be much more telling, hoping and praying. Oh, yeah, just to finish on that. Arsenal, we always do all right and stand up against bigger sides. We proved it last season. The big test, Fulham, Grimsby, Burnley. I don't think any Man United fan will be as confident as they are today unless we get 3 wins in them games. Just going to say it, and we'll finish the show on that there. Cheers, everybody. I will see you all later on and keeping you fully up to date. Have a great day.